Good morning. I'm back in the cemetery. It's a lovely sunny day and there's just some mottled bits of shade and yeah, it feels relatively peaceful here. Just the hum of traffic in the background and yeah, life feels good. One of the phrases that came to me this morning is shine your unique light, because none of us get out of here alive. And it seems quite fitting walking through the cemetery this morning and just reflecting on the last few months or so. How have you been? How's it been for you? Been a bit of a roller coaster for me actually, and I like to share the things that I experience in life, and I like to sort of explain how I managed to navigate the storm, or make it through the storm. So in Buddhism they say that life is suffering, but I also do believe that life is blissful as well, simultaneously. It's many paradoxes. So I think also one thought that's been sort of guiding me forwards, we've had 2 equinoxes, and for myself and a lot of my friends it has been pretty intense. So when life throws you lemons or gives you lemons, make lemonade. That's a really good approach to have, isn't it? So we as human beings are far more flexible, far more adaptable than we could ever imagine. And even through grief, even through sadness, even through, periods where we feel ostracized, victimized, and goodness knows I've had enough of that recently. We have the means within to shine, basically. Isn't that funny? As I said shine, the sun came out. And us as humans, we want everything to happen here and now. We're very impatient. We live in a world full of distractions and everything's kind of speeded up, isn't it? So, life is not straightforward, and we're seeing, technology changing at exponential speed. We're seeing a change in morals, really, the moral compass of people. And recently I was watching a video and a lady was saying how it's the people without the empathy, it's the psychopaths who kind of rise to the top, because they're the ones that don't waste the emotions, don't waste the feelings on, on their or self-reflection, and they kind of seem to just crack on regardless. So last time I think I spoke to you guys, I was talking about the terrible bullying that I experienced from 2 people. It was a vendetta, really, against me. And I'm really pleased to say that the police report, the police crime number, seemed to nip that one in the bud. So yeah, that felt good to step up and stand in my power. And I've had another incident. Now, some of you lovely people have come to see me, or you've seen a video that I've done of the assembly rooms in Glastonbury, the craft market on a Tuesday. So it was strange. Last Saturday it was the spring equinox and we had a special event on, and there were a lot of people coming through. But there was something in me before that day that was kind of saying, don't go. That little voice you get sometimes, and it's your intuition actually. And sometimes our intuition just knows best, doesn't it? Anyhow, it was a pretty abominable day, and it was not much fun really. I got very sweating, hot. I'd taken my dog there, and behind me there were some stall holders that decided that their friends could sit there with their dogs, and I was very polite and I was very nice about it. but they were actually setting off Aurora, who I had there. And at one point there were all these dogs barking, and it was very harmonious, is that the word? Anyhow, so that was rather unpleasant, and I was feeling rather hot and bothered, and by the end of the day I was practically fainting. And then when I got home that evening, and none of the market managers helped me, nobody helped me, I was literally falling on the ground. I had to pack up my store, I had to make sure that Aurora was okay, and these young men were just standing around, apart from one very nice young man who makes the runes in there. So any of you lovely ladies or lovely people out there who have actually come to see me at my stall, and that has happened twice, so hello, those lovely people who've come to see me. I know Kella's one of them. Yeah, the guy who does the runes was the only person who actually kind of like literally helped me out. So again, you know, that links back with the lack of empathy that seems to exist in the world these days. But like I said earlier, you know, when life throws you lemons, make lemonade. So anyway, I managed to get out of the market, and upon arriving home, something said, turn your phone off and don't look at your phone. And I've been getting more into the habit of leaving my phone downstairs when I go to sleep, and I noticed that my sleep is much more peaceful. And then if I do wake up in the night, I'm not distracted to look on my phone for an hour or whatever it is. I really do recommend that. So the following morning I turned on my phone, and lo and behold, there was an email from the market manager, and it said, there has been concerns about you. Now, if any of you have been to my stall, you'll know it's very colourful. Lots of the things on my stall I make myself, such as my clay goddesses, which I often wear in my videos, and all kinds of things. I sell healing instruments, I sell shells, I sell some really beautiful products, and I've always done really well on the market, and I've always got on with all the customers. In fact, I've got quite a lot of regulars. So in this email it said there is concerns about you, that you are selling AI art. Well, I do sometimes sell some little metal plaques, and that you are selling ghosts with adoption certificates. I'd made these tiny cute little ghosts which just had names and personality tags with them. And there was this long list of things that I'd actually made, such as pendants wrapped in wire, and these were what people were complaining about. So I was just absolutely stumped by this and shocked. And any of you who've been to my stall or seen pictures of it will know that it is quite an attractive stall, and over the last 6 months I have improved it a lot. So I can only but think that these other stallholders had issues of jealousy, or just had it in for me in some way. But I'm determined not to be a professional victim. It's just life, isn't it? I'm not a professional victim. I'm just stating what happened. So basically, I've decided not to return to the market, unfortunately, and I've raised it as an issue. I have written into the people there and reported the market manager, and despite getting the lovely sign holder there, Paul, getting him a position, and also encouraging another friend of mine to do a stall, and despite all the positivity and good energy I've brought that market, that is how I got repaid. So sometimes you've just got to dust yourself off, walk forward, and see what better things there are in store. So I am actually illustrating a children's book at the moment, George and the Glastonbury Dragons, and today I'm going to see about a mural out in Boroughbridge to paint a Native American man. So life is really good. Plus there is a small opportunity that I might be offered I have been offered a shop possibly, but that's in the pipeline. It may not happen straight away. So, you know, life is good. You know, we may have to struggle through things, grief, tragedies, you know, it's all kinds of things along the way. I read from my a poetry book a friend of mine released recently, Take Me to Point Nemo, by Stephen Selby, by the way. He wrote a brilliant poem called Tides, and it's all about the ebb and flow of life. And I read it out my last poetry corner. So I think it's also about following the signs that life brings you. And in the last week, I've been spending an hour or two a day giving out the leaflets. We're down to the last few hundred out of 10,000, so I'm very proud of that achievement. So thanks to everybody who's helped with that. And I've bumped into, along my travels, I bumped into two members of my poetry group. We have a poetry group that meets monthly in the library of Avalon. So I kind of saw that as a little nudge from the universe to rejoin that group. And also, I have been thinking about reading more books. So thank you, Mark, and also Catherine, for suggesting to do a book club on the Consortium of Misfits. And I did a training in solution-focused hypnotherapy. So, you know, there's not much good doing a training unless you apply it to your life. So I am going to be continuing with doing the Shepton markets, and I'm also going to go along to Langport on Friday to see what their market is like, and I may start doing Saturdays there. So watch this space. You know, some things come away and other things come in. It is the year of the snake, remember, this year, so we're casting a lot of skins. I mean, for myself, I've had two griefs this year, both my dad and my dog. So it's been full on, but it's been full on for everybody, and I know it has been for you too. So if there's anything you want to share, please share it. When life gives us lemons, let's all make lemonade. That's enough from me, and you take care. Lots of love now. So yeah, I've become quite aware about going into that victimhood thing. Although I have personally had quite a lot thrown at me quite recently, but I got the words, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. And did a little ritual yesterday, shall we say. And I do feel quite released after doing that. And then today, a commission has come in to paint a Native American in a pod not far, about half an hour from Glastonbury. And I really do want to flex my creative muscle a lot more. So I've got that going alongside also illustrating a book about George and the Dragon, but a little boy's version of George and the Dragon. And so, yeah, these creative projects are coming in. And so I'm very, very grateful for that. Plus another friend wants me to do some illustrations for his book. And if any of you out there would also like to have a soul shamanic reading, I do these soul landscape shamanic readings with portraits, so I'm going to be promoting that a little bit more, maybe getting a website, and I'll be sharing it on here. So, you know, it's about me stepping into my confidence and feeling self-worth and having that self-esteem behind me, which has been quite badly knocked over the past months. But I'm definitely, you know, it's all a matter of sink or swim, isn't it, life? And I think people are more resilient than they know. And sometimes it drags us down and we can get overcome with emotions, but all of us are capable of keeping our head above water, keeping our legs going, you know, and, you know, sometimes we don't feel like going full steam ahead and we need to stop. We need to cancel things. And a friend recently cancelled his launch of his book, and I really respected him for that because he wasn't in the right frame of mind. And recently I've been cancelling things and not feeling too bad about that, because, you know, life is ebbing and flowing all the time, isn't it? Anyhow, I'm not quite sure, you know, what I've been talking about, but I hope some of it's resonated with you. Any of your feedback is really, really welcomed. And thank you so much for watching. You take care now.